Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. Today we're going to be learning In the Hole of the Mountain King. Now this is a song that I've played a ton of times, and it was actually probably one of my most popular classical tunes that I would teach in my private one-on-one lessons. I used to actually jokingly refer to this song as the song that everyone knows but no one can remember the actual name of it. But occasionally somebody got it right. But it's just such a cool sounding melody, and it actually worked really, really well as a duet. So I wanted to arrange a classical piece that was more at a seasoned beginner level and gave you guys some practice with playing up the neck. Now, this arrangement is best played for a concert or a tenor ukulele, but if you have a soprano, you can still play this entire tune. We're going to talk about how to do that in just a second. So this lesson is going to be part one, and in part one we're going to be learning the entire melody. If you guys want to learn the second half of this duet, basically what the other player plays, the harmony behind the melody, that's going to be taught in part two of the video lesson at rockclass101.com. Just do a search for In the Hole of the Mountain King, and there you can find access to part two of the video lesson, the complete tabs that you can print off and follow along as a PDF format. Plus, there is the on-screen tab viewer, which is really cool. You can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time, highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed. Just a really great asset for learning this tune that much quicker. Plus, there's backing tracks. So if you do learn the complete melody and you want to play along with the harmony part, there's a backing track for that. And if you learn the harmony and you want to play along with the melody, there's a backing track for that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and kick into this lesson. So the first thing I want to talk about is our right hand. So the easiest way that we can approach playing this would be to play everything with our thumb. So if we were just to play through the first part, I could just pick everything with my thumb going down, 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 down. But sometimes, and as we go through all the themes, we're going to talk about different ways to approach finger picking, because sometimes there's a little bit more efficient way to play. So this song is split into 5 themes. We have theme 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each theme is 4 bars in length. So the thing that happens with this song is that theme 1 is the same as theme 3, and theme 2 is the same as theme 4. So theme 3 and 4 are basically just playing the same notes up higher on the neck. So we're going to be playing it basically up an octave. So the thing is, if you don't have a concert ukulele that expands past the 12th fret, or a tenor uke, they go past the 12th fret. If you only have a soprano, then you could play this entire song by doing theme 1, theme 2, theme 1, theme 2, theme 5. And theme 5 is the same as theme 1, only the last bar is different. So that's the way to do this if you only have a soprano. If you have the concert or the tenor, like I do, then you can play all 5 themes. So let's go ahead and kick into theme 1. So here's what the first theme sounds like. Okay, so my right hand approach, I was doing a 3-finger approach. So that means that my thumb gets string 4 and string 3, middle finger gets string 2, ring finger gets string 1. So I like to use these 3 fingers, but you could also use these 3. So if you use these 3, again, thumb gets 4 and 3, index gets 2, middle would get string 1. All right, so let's kick into learning it. So the first bar, is predominantly all eighth notes. This whole song is basically eighth notes with quarter notes thrown in every now and then. So very simple rhythms. So we're going to be walking up on string 3. We're just going to go open C, then our second finger on second fret of string 3, and then the third finger on the third fret. So everything's on that C string. 0, 2, 3. From here we're going to the first fret of string 2, and then the third fret of string 2. Okay, so let's just try that. It's all eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, again, so we have open, second, third, then to string 2, first, third. So again, 0, 2, 3, 1, 3. Straight eighth notes. So if we count it 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now I want you guys to keep that ring finger on that third fret of string 2. Add your middle finger right above it to the third fret of string 3. You're going to play that note and then follow it up by playing string 2 again, which is the third fret. So take note of that shape that we've got right here. So again, we have 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, and then add the middle on top, play string 3, and then play string 2. Okay, so again, 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3. Okay, if I call up the string names, I have all on string 3, then string 2, string 3, string 2. Okay? So this shape is really important because we're going to be playing a chord pretty soon. So from here, guys, we're just going to be walking down. So you're literally going to be moving second and third finger down a half step to the second fret and then down another half step to the first fret. So you're just moving this shape down. So the first time we left off on 3. We're going down to 2. So we're going to play 2, 3, 2. And then we're going down to 1, and we're going to play the same thing, string 2, string 3, string 2. So this is where our quarter notes come into play. So let me count out bar 1 and 2, and I'll do a little accent with my head. You can hear where those quarter notes are. So we have 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, down, 1 and 2, down, 3 and 4. So we have a few of those quarter notes thrown in there, right? So again, bar 1, and then we'll talk about bar 2. We had 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, quarter note, right? Then move down a half step to 2. We're going to go 2, 3, 2, quarter note, and then down another half step to fret 1. And we have, again, same pattern, 2, 3, 2. And the last one is a quarter note. So bar 2, guys, starts on the second fret, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? So put it together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, down, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? Now bar 3 is identical for the most part to bar 1, so we're doing the same thing. 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3. Now instead of ending on that last note, you're going to add one more note. So we don't have a quarter note at the end of bar 3. We're going to add our pinky to the third fret of string 1. Okay? So in essence, we're going to be making an E flat chord. So I'll put up a little diagram here in a second, but all I want you guys to worry about right now is understanding that this bar is almost the same as bar 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, except for that last one, we're going to add one more note, so it's all eighth notes. So again, we have 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3. Add your pinky underneath for string 1. Okay, so that's third fret. All right, going into the next bar, we have to lift our pinky up. So we got to lift that pinky up and add our first finger to the first fret of string 1. Okay, so here is where we get that E flat chord. So this chord is going to be ignoring string 4. We have our middle finger on 3rd fret of string 3, our ring finger on the 3rd fret of string 2, and index on the 1st fret of string 1. Okay, so that gives us an E flat. So it's tricky because you have to go from the end of that 3rd bar and switch to that. So you have the pinky and then boom, 1st finger. Now this last bar is actually, it's not very hard because it just walks up and straight down. The last bar just goes, right? Ba da 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 da. So the last bar is just going 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And that rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3, rest. So we have 2 quarter notes at the end. We have beat 3 that we hold out, and then beat 4 is a rest. So let me play bars 3 to 4 and break it down again. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, rest. Okay, so again, it starts the same as bar 1. 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3. Pinky, right? That last part's tricky, right? So that last part is string 2, string 3, string 2, string 1. So a little bit of a finger frenzy. 0, 2, 3, 1, string 2, string 3, string 2, string 1. Then get rid of pinky, go to the 1st fret of string 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So you hold those 2 fingers the whole time, right? So they stay anchored. So that's really it. Just think of bar 3 again as the same as bar 1 with adding that 3rd fret on string 1. So that gives us bars 1 through 4, guys. That's theme number 1. So all together, let's give it a shot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. All right, so let's move on to theme number 2. So theme 2 is going to be going up higher in our pitch, so it sounds like this. Okay, so basically same rhythms that we're playing, but different notes. So we're going to be going primarily between string 1 and 2 for this, and the majority of them are on string 1. So the first bar is going to start on an open G, and for this, for my right hand, what I'm going to choose to do is basically 2 fingers. So I'm going to use my thumb and probably either my ring or my middle finger for string 1. And my thumb again for string 2. So if you watch my right hand, you can see that I'm playing off of string 1 and string 2, but I'm only using 2 fingers. Middle, thumb, middle, middle, thumb, middle. Or you could use index, index, thumb, index, index, thumb, index. But for that first part, thumb, first, then 2 fingers, right? So I think 2 fingers is a good approach for this. But again, you can use thumb for everything if you want to simplify it. So we're going to start off with open G, and then we have a walk up on string 1. So it goes open, 2nd, 3rd, 5th. So let's talk about fingers. So open G, open A string, then 2nd fret with the index finger, and then use that middle finger for the 3rd fret. Okay, and then slide up to 5 with your index. So watch how that goes. Open, open, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger. 0, 0, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so here we go with the timing. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, from here, leave your index anchored, add your ring finger to 7 on string 2. We're going to play that note, and then back to string 1. So watch that walk up. Oh, oh, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5. Okay. So again. Okay, that completes bar number 1 for theme 2. So that last note is a quarter note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, bar 2 is going to add your middle finger to 6 on string 1. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, and then lift that middle finger up and do the same thing. 1, 2, 1. So your ring finger and your index finger stay anchored. So if we watch the fingering movement, only middle finger is moving in bar 2. I have 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So that middle finger lifts up. So in essence, we have our timing is 1 and quarter, 3 and quarter. So same stuff as we saw before. Okay, if I put 1 and 2 together, guys, I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, middle. 1 and 2, lift. 3 and 4, if I get my numbers right. But you can see how it's just playing off string 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So just playing off of those 2 strings. So very, very simple stuff. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now the third bar for theme 2 is going to be the same thing as the first bar. Everything's identical. Oh, oh, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5. And bar 4 is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 5. So it just ends earlier. So you hear it goes 6, 7, 6, 5, rest. So the rhythm for the fourth bar is 1 and 2, 3, rest. Okay, let me play bar 3 and 4. Sounds like this. Okay, so if I play all of theme 2 together, 1 through 4, I get this, guys. Okay, so it's basically the same thing doubled, right, with that last bar ending sooner. Now, here's the thing. Again, if you have a soprano ukulele, these next 2 themes, theme 3 and 4, are going to move past the 12th fret. So sopranos stop at the 12th fret. So what you can do is you can play theme 1 and theme 2 again. So as you cycle through all 5 themes, you would play theme 1, theme 2, theme 1, theme 2, and theme 5. And when we get to theme 5, it's the same as theme 1, only the 4th bar is different. So that's what I would do. You could still play this entire tune. The only difference is that you won't hear that really cool movement, because what we do for theme 3 is we're playing the same as theme 1, we're just playing up an octave. So we're going to play the same notes, just higher up the neck. So very cool stuff that's about to happen. So let's kick off on theme 3. So here's what it sounds like. I'm going to play just the first 2 bars this time. Sounds like this. Okay, so it's playing off of string 2 and string 1, and again, for the right hand, I'm doing 2 fingers. I'm using thumb for string 2 and middle finger for string 1. So the walk-up is going to be harder here because we're going to be using our pinky finger and kind of staying in this box for the first part. So when I call out a box, it just means that we're playing in 4 frets. So our box here is from 8, 9, 10, 11. So each finger gets its own fret for the first 3 notes. So you're going to start on the 8th fret of string 2. You're going to use the index finger, then put your ring on 10, and then pinky on 11. So we're just walking up straight 8th notes. 1 and 2, okay? 8, 10, 11. Then underneath it, we're going to go 8 on string 1. So we have 8, 10, 11, 8. Okay, 1 and 2 and from here, you're going to move that index finger up to 10. And you're going to be playing string 1, string 2, string 1. So while it's up on 10, we're going to add that middle finger to 11 on string 2. So you're going to go 1, 2, 1. Okay, so let's hear all that. We have 8, 10, 11, 8, move it up to 10, add the middle finger to 11 on string 2, 1, 2, 1. So we'll put that together. We have 8, 10, 11, 8, 10, 11, 10. Remember that last note is a quarter. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the easy thing, and what's good about this, is that this shape is going to move down, ba, ba, just like we did in theme 1, right? That same shape kept moving down a half step, right? Same thing here, but our shape is different on these two strings. So when we finish up on 10 and 11, we're going to go down a half step to 9 and 10, and then down a half step to 8, 9. But you're doing the same thing, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So if I put that together, bars 1 and 2 for theme 3, I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now this second part, so bar 3, is going to do predominantly the same thing up to the end. So it's the same concept we saw in theme 1, guys. Remember, it's the same notes as theme 1, so the same stuff happens, we're just playing it up higher. So again, it's going to start out as 1 and 2 and move up, 3 and 4, and then we add one extra note, right? We're going to add that pinky to 15 on string 1. So it's the same as we saw in theme 1 with that extra note, right? This third fret is the same as 15, right? They're both a C note. So again, so bar 3, we have 8, 10, 11, 8, move up, 10, 11, 10, 15 with your pinky, so stretch to 15, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So if these stretches are a bit uncomfortable and they're hard for you right now, then check out this lesson on increasing left hand reach. It's got 3 exercises that are going to help you increase your reach with your left hand. Let's talk about the last bar. This last bar is probably the trickiest that we've done throughout this entire tune. So it sounds like this. Okay, so it's tricky because we're going to be using that pinky. We got to lift it up and put it back down. So basically, if we think about, let's talk about our context from bar 3 to 4. Look where these two fingers are. They're on 11 and 10. They're going to stay anchored there. That pinky, after it plays 15, is going to move down to 13. So it goes down a whole step. You're going to play 13, lift it up, 10 on string 1, play string 2, play string 1, and then put it back down on 13. So you got 13, 10, 11, 10, 13. So it's got movement, right? So down, up, second, first, down. So that's what's the tricky thing. 13, lift up, 10, 11 on 2, 10, put it back down, 13 on 1. So it's tricky. 3 and 4 is probably what you're going to want to work on the most. Stretch. So just tricky with that bar. So if I put all of that together, guys, for theme 3, we have really cool stuff though. Now the fourth theme is going to start where we left off. Our index finger starts on 10, or left off on 10. Theme 4 is going to start on 10. So that's important to know, because you don't want to lift your hand up and create extra movement when it's not necessary. So here's what theme 4 sounds like. So pretty high up the neck, and it's all on string 1. So that's easy for us to keep in mind. So for this one, you can just use one finger. I like to use the middle finger, but again, you can use the thumb to pluck everything on string 1. We have a slide for the first note. So the first note going into the second note is going to be a slide. So that's going to be our index finger on 10 on string 1. It's going to slide up to the double dot, so slide up to 12. But don't rush that slide. Remember, we want to keep that rhythm 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we want to keep that rhythm intact. 1 and 2 and, right? So we want to make sure that slide is an 8th note slide. So again, 10 to 12. And then use your middle finger to play 14 on string 1, then 15. Okay, so let's put that together. We have 10 to 12, 14, 15. Okay, 1 and 2 and, so again, 10, 12, 14, 15. From here, you're going to move up to 17. So just move all these fingers up. So we're going to be playing with the third finger and the first finger. So the third finger is going to play 17, and then lift up, play 14, and then put it back down for 17. So you have 17, 14, 17. So I have 10 to 12, 14, 15, move up my hand shape, 17, 14, 17. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The next one's going to move my ring finger up to 18, so only a half step up. 18, lift up, play 14, and back to 18. Okay? So now we have 10 to 12, 14, 15, 17, 14, 17, 18, 14, 18. So you notice that index finger stays anchored the entire time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. And then guess what, guys? It just goes back to 17. So move it down a half step. 17, 14, 17. All right, so that's the first 2 bars. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bar 2, 18. 1 and 2, down 17. 3 and 4. So that's it. You're just going 18, 17. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so bar 3 and bar 4 are basically all the same stuff. Bar 3 is identical to 1, where it's 10 to 12, 14, 15, 17, 14, 17. So it's the same bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then the last bar is going to stop early, right? So the last bar is going to go 18, 14, 18, 17. Okay? So bar 3 and 4 sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. Stop, right? Or rest on beat 4. So that's theme 4, guys. It's tricky because we're playing up higher on the neck, which isn't the most comfortable place to play, but it's easier because it's all on the first string. So theme 4 put together sounds like this. Okay. So fun little fact, if you didn't know that the uke repeats at the 12th fret, so everything that we play from open up to 11 just is repeated. Okay, so if that still doesn't make sense, watch this. If I was to play 3, 2, open on string 1, if I add 12 to all those notes, 12 plus 3 is 15. That's the same note, that's a C note. Second fret is the second note I played. If I add 12 to that, that's 14. It's a B note. Open is the same as 12. Open plus 12 is 12. So it's the same notes, just an octave higher. We have 3, 2, O, C, B, A is the same as C, B, A, right? So the uke repeats at the 12th fret. So fun fact if you didn't know that. I know a lot of beginners, they're like, what? You know, because when you first look at the instrument, you're like, oh, that's a lot of frets and a lot of notes. But once you start to learn a little bit more, you start to learn that, oh, we only have 12 notes in music. So it starts to become a little bit easier of a concept to understand. Anyways, let's talk about theme 5 now, because theme 5 is the same as theme 1. So the first 3 bars are identical. All that is identical, right? We had bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, right, where that pinky got added. Now, actually, let me take that back. We're gonna do fingering different for the 3rd bar. Let me explain that. So for that 3rd bar in theme 5, we're gonna start out the same. We're gonna go 0, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3. Now instead of adding our pinky for that last note, I want you guys to do a pivot. We're gonna pivot that ring finger down. So watch that. See how it's on a fingertip, and then I'm gonna just bend at that first knuckle, pivot down, and catch that last note. The reason is because the last bar is going to be a lot easier to play if we include a pivot. So let me go ahead and play 3 and 4. Watch that ring finger as it pivots down, and then we're going to talk about it in detail. Sounds like this. Okay, so again, when I'm playing da da da, I'm gonna pivot down with the ring finger. I can get rid of my middle finger at the same time. So I have 2, 3, 2, pivot down, lift that middle finger up. Then I'm gonna go into the last bar. So this is awkward, right? You can see how that's flat now and that's curved, but it's only for that one note, because after we're done with that, we're gonna lift up and we're gonna play. Okay? So we're gonna play 2 on string 1, open 4, and then we're gonna play 3, 2, 0 on string 3. So again, we have 2 on string 1, open G, and then 3, 2, open 3rd. Okay, so if I put 3 and 4 together, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, pivot, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0. Okay, and our last note is going to be a chord. We're going to play this C minor chord all the way up the neck, where it's going to be 15. So you're going to use first finger on 15 on string 3, second finger on 15 on string 2, ring finger underneath, 15 on 1. And we can just strum down with our thumb. Okay, if that chord isn't very comfortable, you can just play the 3rd fret. Remember, 3 plus 12, 15, same notes. Okay? So let's tie that in. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, pivot, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, strum. Okay? That completes everything for our tune, guys. Let me play theme 5 with that cool little ending, and then we'll wrap up this lesson. All right. So basically, guys, remember that this theme 1 and 2 are just going to get repeated for theme 3 and 4. So theme 1 is the same as 3, theme 2 is the same as 4, and then theme 5 is the same as theme 1 and 3, with the 4th bar being different. So again, if you're playing that soprano, you can still play the whole song. Play theme 1, theme 2, theme 1, theme 2, theme 5. But if you have a concert or a tenor, you can play all of this and get those cool octaves, because we're just playing the same notes just higher up the neck, which is what this gives the song such a cool sound, is that it just feels like it builds. And a fun thing you can do too is, you know, the performance kept this song in a steady time, but if you listen to performances of it, you can hear that they gradually get faster each theme. So if you find a friend to play this with, you guys can try to bump up the speed for each theme. So that's another fun thing you can do. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. We're going to be covering the second part in part 2 of the video lesson. So we're going to learn the harmony part that fits over the melody. So if you want to learn that as well, just look for In the Hall of the Mountain King on rockclass101.com. The complete tabs are there. You can print off and follow along with, and the on-screen tab viewer is there. So guys, I will see you in part 2. Thanks.